The whole Ecoya brand is founded upon the life and the way of life in this part of the world. We want to create fragrances that reflect our lifestyle here and reflect who we are as people. It's important that the environment, the fragrances, the natural waxes and everything play together to create this one beautiful thing. There are two things really at the heart of the Ecoya brand. The first one, and probably the most important one, is around fragrance. So absolutely everything we do is about fragrance. All our products are fragranced. And our fragrances are inspired by this part of the world that we live in. So we want to create exciting, new, contemporary fragrances that reflect the way of life here in Australia, New Zealand and the South Pacific. The second most important thing is how we go about making these products. So we want to make them in a beautifully crafted, artisan, handmade way, using the best raw materials and the best base products. Candles were the first product we created at Ecoya, and naturally one of the most important parts of a candle is the wax that you use. And when looking at all the waxes available, it was an absolute no-brainer for us to use soy wax because it's so much kinder on the environment than the likes of a paraffin or a paraffin blend. Making a soy wax candle is actually quite tricky. It's more technical than you would think. The fragrance interacts with the wax, which interacts with the vessel, and all of those things come and play together, and there's also a real science between how those are blended, at what times and at what temperatures, and how they're treated after they're blended to cool, to set, to cure, and then how they're packaged and cared for once they're complete. So there's absolutely a real craft that goes into making a soy wax candle versus just putting some wax in a wick in a jar.
Lighting a candle is creating a moment. When you walk into the kitchen and someone's lit a candle and you just smell this beautiful fragrance, you feel like it changes something and it just makes it feel so cozy. With our core collection, it's about making sure that we've got the right range of fragrances around the fragrance wheel. We've got fragrances in our core collection that have been around since we were founded, like Lotus Flower and Sweet Pea and Jasmine. French Pear came in not long after, and those fragrances are still up there with our top selling fragrances. And I think that customers can go back to their favourite fragrance and know that that's what they're going to get. That's what they love. That's what they've always had burning in their house, and that's not going to change. We wanted to be able to produce a collection that really stood out from our core collection. So our celebration collection has been designed to be giftable for those momentous occasions. It's got a beautifully cut glass vessel. It's quite different to our core collection, and I think that elevates it a little bit more, and it can just bring this warmth to you. Limited edition collections for us is really exciting. It means that we can launch new fragrances constantly. We tend to do our limited edition collections seasonally, so they do follow the seasons. But again, it's taking the inspiration from around us. So we try to get new contemporary fragrances that aren't just one-dimensional. They've got so many different layers to the way that they burn. So you'll start off by getting one note, and then as you burn it, you'll get these other notes that come through. I think fragrance to our consumers can transport you to so many different places, and that's what we want to do. We want to try and evoke memories of different times in people's lives that can really just give that emotional connection to it.
Body care was absolutely a natural progression because we're fragrancing all other areas of the home. We want to be able to fragrance the bathroom as well, and people came to love the fragrances so much that they wanted to wear them on their skin. The fact that we're still a boutique business is a real benefit because everybody is important. Everybody that works here is important. Everybody has a say. Everybody has some input and some ownership, and we all really share in the journey and live and breathe the brand. We have absolutely everything here that creates this beautiful, lush environment for us to draw from. And so that is naturally reflected in the Ecoya brand because it's the way we live.